guessing lots of things, and I'm guessing that all the things I'm guessing is probably gonna be right. A little swoony. That's a very good choice. Thank you very much. Thank you. Really, really smart, and I want to have really smart friends, and I want... Hey guys, welcome or welcome back, and welcome to this week's reading vlog. The game plan for this video: I'm choosing a book, you're choosing a book, and the jar is choosing a book. Now, I couldn't wait to start my book. So we're gonna start with the book that I chose, then we'll do the book that you chose, and then we'll do the book that the jar chooses. The book that we're starting with is Taurus Season by Bryn Weaver. Guys, it's so good already. I am gobbling it up. I'm actually listening to the audiobook. 10 out of 10, 5 stars. Recommend the audiobook. Obviously, I'm not that far through. I think I'm probably about 30% in. So I definitely want the physical copy of it. So first things first, we're gonna go out shopping and see if we can find a copy of Taurus Season. I also really want a copy of Butcher and Blackbird because I've now listened to Butcher and Blackbird twice and I don't own a physical copy of it, which just feels criminal. So I need some Bryn Weaver on my shelves. I'm heading out shopping today anyway for just different life. I'm actually going wedding dress related shopping. So I'll probably pop into the Kings Road Waterstones, and then I'm gonna keep listening to the audiobook. I'll keep you updated on how I'm finding it, but so far, loving it. So book one, Taurus Season. Let's go see if we can find it, and let's go book shopping. Mini haul and Taurus Season update. Okay, first, as you saw, I did find Taurus Season. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Didn't successfully find Butcher and Blackbird. I looked in 2 Waterstones and I was like in Central, so they were quite big. Couldn't find Butcher and Blackbird, which feels crazy. Next, I feel like some of you are gonna be very happy about this. You've been telling me to read this book for a while. I got the Thursday Murder Club at long last. I'm gonna read this soon. I'm definitely gonna read this by the end of the year, whether it's in November or if it becomes like a Christmassy, but I feel like this is a good Christmassy kind of book. Mostly because I really wanna watch the Netflix adaptation. Cameron watched it without me and I think it looks fun, and everybody says that's seen the Netflix thing that this is just light years better. Like, that doesn't even scratch the surface. I just know I'm gonna love this, and it's criminal I haven't read it yet, so yay. And then the third book that I got, which a little bit rogue, I just saw it and thought, oh my gosh, that is beautiful. And I kind of assume good things, but I haven't actually heard loads about it, but I feel like it's quite a big new release. And that is Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. For those of you that don't know, the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, although specifically books 1 and I suppose even more specifically book 2 of that trilogy, The Ballad of Never After, is probably one of my favorite books of all time. That is like a 6-star read for me. Just Jax. Oh, Jax. Anyway, I haven't read anything else by Stephanie Garber apart from that trilogy, and this is Stephanie's new release. I honestly don't know loads about it. I just saw it and thought, oh my gosh, that is a absolutely stunning book. Look at the insides. Look at that. I mean, it's literally beautiful. I haven't even taken off the whole, oh my gosh, a cocktail. I haven't taken off the whole dust jacket yet. Look at that. That really is beautiful. Stunning. I wonder, are those like fancy symbols at the back as well? Yeah, they are. Look. Honestly stunned. And a cocktail on the front. I don't know anything about it. Are we at school? You're here because of a story. Oh, I love her writing so much. It's so whimsical. It starts with a class in an old movie theatre, Folklore 517, local legends and urban myths taught by a woman called the Professor. Most students believe the Professor's stories are just fiction, but Holland St. James has always been convinced that magic is real. Her search for the truth leads her to a dazzling new world, a deadly ultimatum hidden at the heart of Los Angeles, and into the path of a magnetic stranger who claims he's been sent to save her life. But everyone in this intoxicating new world is lying to her, even this stranger. And if she can't figure out whom to trust, her magical reality could change from a Hollywood dream to a nightmare. That sounds kind of chaotic. I don't feel like I'm especially clear on what that's about from the description, but hopefully when you read the book, it becomes a little bit clearer. But that is it, that's all I got, guys. 3 books. But I'm very happy with these 3, especially happy to have my physical copy of Taurus Season. Right, okay. Audiobook girlies, rise. This is a fantastic book on audio. I should probably at some point do a full like audiobook Rex video, only because I am someone who needs audiobooks to just survive and thrive. If you're someone that is very busy and you just feel like you don't have a lot of time to really sit down and read a book page by page, but you want to still enjoy stories whilst getting on with your busy life, audiobooks are your best friend. Like, there is so much housework that I get done whilst listening to audiobooks, and I don't know what I would have normally done like in my past life before I audiobooked so hard. I guess I would have like listened to music or put TV on in the background whilst I folded laundry or whatever, but audiobooks are not all created equal, but this one is fantastic. I am loving it so much so far. I wish I'd been filming, because I am now at page 146 and I had a true gas shock moment. I don't want to give away any spoilers because I have seen some people talking about this book and giving away quite a lot of spoilers in my opinion, but there is a very small link between this book and Butcher and Blackbird. So if you've read Butcher and Blackbird, that link is really fun. If you haven't read Butcher and Blackbird, you really don't need to read it. It doesn't impact the plot in any way. But for some reason, it like floored me. And I was like, oh my God, I can't, like that's a link. And anyway, I really enjoyed the link. So I had that one jaw-dropping moment, which was just fun, but again, not plot relevant necessarily. So far at page 146, things that I am enjoying. The banter, the FMC is so much fun. The ridiculousness of the whole concept and premise, which is serial killers that murder irritating tourists in their town. So the murders in this are definitely like less justified than the murders in Butcher and Blackbird. Like, I think you have to go into this thinking like they're killing people, and I'm like, no. You can't kill someone for that. You can't kill someone for being an annoying tourist. Some of the murders, they'll like find someone that's bad, kind of same premise as Butcher and Blackbird. They're like serial killers that kill other bad people. Some of the people in this are bad. Some of them I'm like, no, that's not actually death worthy, guys. Obviously, I know this is a romance, like that is the point of the book, but right now, he hates her so much. Like, he really hates her, and the way that she is just like kind of like, you can hate me if you want, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not scared of you, I'm sticking around. And he's like, no, I will kill you, I will kill you. She's like, bring it on, dude. It's so I love their dynamic. This is what you would call like enemies to lovers, except the enemies thing is just like one-sided and she's kind of just vibing, and he like really like strong enemies hates her. Loving that whole dynamic. That feels unique. Normally with enemies to lovers, it's very much like they both hate each other. I'm loving the side characters. There's this, is he a crow? That's terrible. I actually don't know if he's a crow. She has a bird. I think that he's a crow, and he like parrots a lot of really ridiculous phrases, which is also really funny. Things I don't love. This is a book that follows the miscommunication trope. So he hates her. If they just had a conversation, he wouldn't hate her so much. And that kind of setup is from right at the beginning when they first meet. And I foresee that this is gonna keep going, that it's gonna be like a right at the end, they'll finally have a conversation, and then he'll be like, oh, I actually am in love with you instead, which is how romance books goes, right? Sometimes it really grates on me. This, I think there's just such good vibes happening. I'm having such a good time that I don't really mind. The plot is fun. In these books, you always get like a little bit of cringy language. There's like one phrase they say a lot of times, which like we could probably stop saying that now. Overall, like we're in strong 4-star territory, and I'm only a third of the way through. So I'm gonna go maybe I'll do a bit of a read right now. Maybe I'll go sit down, get myself a cup of tea, actually do some reading, and then later on this afternoon, I've got some editing to do and stuff, so I'll pop the audiobook back in. Vibes really high, guys. Vibes really high. Let's keep going with Taurus season. It's so silly, but I'm enjoying it. Okay, for anyone that's read Butcher and Blackbird, and I think she like carries that theme into the other books in that series, which I haven't actually read as well. But you know how Bren Weaver likes to fuck with food, or like she does stuff to food that is not fine that the characters then consume. like in the first book, there was a couple of things in Butcher and Blackbird. One of them was accidental cannibalism, which they put in the trigger warnings at the beginning of the book, so it's not a spoiler. There's accidental cannibalism. This is not that bad, like it's not the same, which I'm glad. Like I think there are a couple of food groups that Bryn Weaver like really put people off of for a short time. So not as bad as that, but we do have like spiked food or drink in some capacity. Like I don't want to spoil it because these are all the bits that become fun, but we do have some kind of spiked food or drink situation. It's funny. It's very funny. Yeah, see, it's this line in like the miscommunication trope that always is irritating. Like this does knock it a little bit. She's just said, he will never think anything differently of me, so why fight to convince him that I'm a better person than the one that he thinks I am? Well, maybe because he's trying to kill you, so if you convince him you're a better person than he thinks you are, he might not. Like, there's a lot of reasons why you should convince him that you're a better person. Also, like it's a romance, so you're starting to get feelings for him. So maybe that's also a good reason why you should talk to him and tell him that you're a better person than he thinks you are. I don't know. It's that statement of like, he'll never think any different. It's just like annoyingly immature, that mentality. But I just will ignore that sentence and keep reading, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna ignore that one little sentence, but I almost would prefer it if there was miscommunication, but they didn't like acknowledge it almost. It's kind of like just something that never really got addressed, and then all of a sudden they address it. But to have that, like it keeps getting brought, okay, I say it keeps. So far it has been brought up like a few times, the issue, and I'm like, cool, perfect, this is a great time to talk about it. Like now let's talk about it and like squash it. I hope she does it soon, but I get the vibes it's gonna be like a big end reveal or something, you know? Crazy right now, and those are all the socks that I need to put away before I can actually go to sleep. But I just finished Taurus season. Guys, that cliffhanger was rude. I like actually almost can't believe how like little we got, but how much we were fed. I don't know how those two things are true, but to leave the like for the cliffhanger to be on that like placed there in the story, 'tis wild. The plot twist, I don't know if it counts as a plot twist, but like the reveal at the end of, I can't really say anything, but the reveal at the end of somebody in the town's true character, I have to say I did see coming. Like I did know that that person was gonna be like that, so did see that coming. Still fun though. I'm kind of obsessed with this romance, guys. Like I think I prefer this romance to Butcher and Blackbird. In fact, I definitely do. I also, because I never really talked about the fact that I read Butcher and Blackbird again, like relatively recently, I definitely rate it a lot higher than I think the first time I read it. I gave it like a 2 or something because I'd never read any dark romance before and it just freaked me out. Now I've like been around the block a couple of times. I re-listened to it thinking, I bet I'm gonna be obsessed with this now. Did really enjoy Butcher and Blackbird, but I will say there is something about that spice that's like, was still a bit much. Like I feel like I read such spicy books that have so much spice in them. But for some reason with Butcher and Blackbird, like I've listened to Lights Out, but with Butcher and Blackbird I was just like, there's just a bit much. There's no spice, and then all of a sudden there's spice, and then it's like just spice for a while, and I'm like, okay, come now, like enough. This though, the spice in this was so good, even though like it's outrageous, and I mean the piercing, guys, if anyone's read it, just no. Anyway, that is definitely the sound of Cameron coming up to bed, so I am gonna go to bed. I think I'm gonna finish my rating of Taurus season on, I think, 4.5. I really enjoyed it, and the fact that it's a trilogy I think is so fun. That we didn't resolve the romance. Like, the romance is not like a complete book with an epilogue the way you normally get with interconnected standalones. We're in the middle of their story. Like, we're halfway through, like we're a third of the way through their story. We're gonna choose our next book and start that tomorrow. For now though, I'm just gonna honestly fall asleep just like dwelling on what I just read. I can't wait for the next one. I can't wait for the next one. I'm so excited. Okay, we're officially on to choosing the next book, which is the book that you guys are choosing for me. So for anyone that didn't see, I popped a poll up on like the community section of this channel that asked you to choose out of 3 books. The 3 books that were options for you to choose, which are all on my TBR for the month of October, were Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, and Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Now, if any of you guys have seen the poll, you weren't very helpful, I have to say. At one point, it was literally exactly equally split. At the time that I decided to like call it quits on seeing if anything was going to change, we were on, I think I took a screenshot, we were on 32, 33 and 35 or something like that, or 34. I don't know exactly what the numbers were, but they were so close. It must have literally been like 1 or 2 votes in it. Now, sorry to disrespect the poll, but by a tiny margin, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil won. So apologising profusely to all those that voted for Bury Our Bones, but I completely forgot that someone told me in the comments a while ago that there is a mention of Addie LaRue from The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which is obviously a book by the same author. There's a mention of Addie in this because she obviously wrote this first, and I love that kind of thing. I love being able to follow mentions or like any kind of like multiverse type thing where I can see characters from different books or different universes even like colliding in a new world. I love it, and I really don't want to miss out on that experience in Bury Our Bones. So now I feel like I'm not going to read this, and I'm going to wait until after I've read Addie LaRue. So I'm so sorry for the third of you that voted for this, like genuinely apologetic, which means that it actually came down to 2 books, and I've already put the screenshot up, so you already know the winner by 1 tiny percent. If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, just 1. I mean, obviously I am now going to read all of the books in future vlogs. Like, I will vlog reading Binding 13, I will vlog reading Bury Our Bones, I promise. But for today, we're starting If We Were Villains. I have to be honest, I'm really excited about this. 1, because we haven't read a lit fic in a while. I assume this is literary fiction. I mean, it could be mystery thriller, I suppose, by the description on the back, but I think I've done a bit of a synopsis of it several times, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically a group of students all studying theatre, specifically Shakespeare, at college/university, and essentially the lines start to get blurred between the characters they're playing and who they are in their real lives. And I believe there's a murder, somebody shows up dead, and then it's a case of trying to work out if this group of students are all guilty, and it's all in the point of view of Oliver. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot that part. Oh wow. Oliver has just served 10 years for a murder he may or may not have committed. On the day of his release, he's met by the detective that put him in prison, and then he wants to know what happened a decade before when Oliver... Oh, okay. So Oliver's clearly like either the fall guy or he actually did it. This murder that's gonna happen. A rare and extraordinary novel and a genuinely breathtaking literary thriller. There you go, that's the genre, I guess, literary thriller. When I told my mum I was gonna read this, she was like, that sounds exactly like the plot of The Secret History. She hasn't read this, but apparently quite similar. I'm gonna go get started with this now. I might even pop the audiobook on of it. I've heard quite good things about the audiobook, and there's something about Shakespeare, like I think there is quite a lot of Shakespeare in here, everybody said, and there's something about Shakespeare being brought to life audibly that just, it helps Shakespeare hit different than when you read it. So maybe I'll do a bit of audiobooking and a bit of reading. I'm gonna go crack on and I'll catch up with you. So I've put a little bit of a dent in this. Okay, I've switched to the audiobook. I'm just chilling and doing some crochet. And I've just finished Act 1. I'm about to start Act 2, which is at page 100, so I'm exactly 100 pages in. You guys know how much I love like a silly smutty time, but I have to say this, I've been craving a book like this, and it's itching my brain in all the best ways. There are so many just really fun literary, I don't know what we call them, literary techniques maybe in here. I now see how it gets really confusing between the characters they're playing when they're acting in their classes and who they are in real life, because you'll be in the point of view of Oliver and they'll be acting a play. So at the moment they're doing Macbeth, they'll be acting Macbeth, and it's like as a play would be character, but instead of, in his mind, he'll be like, oh, James, who's like one of the students, James then said, and then we'll read James's character's line, and it starts to get really messy, and even my brain is like, oh, it's foggy. It's foggy in a really cool, really eerie way, and there are huge segments of it that's like exactly like a play would be. And even then, when they're not in class and they're not performing, the way that they speak to each other and the way in Oliver's head he views their conversations, he'll be like, me, colon, and then say something as if he's acting in a play, even though this is them like outside of class, drinking or whatever, just like being college kids. So it starts to get really murky because they're using each other's real names when they're acting, and then they're using acting style, I speak, then you speak dialogue in their real lives. Oh, it's good, it's really good. And the fact that it's all split up, instead of it being like chapter 1, chapter 2, it's like scene 1, scene 2. It's definitely very gripping. We've had our first, finally, bit of something where it's thrown everything a little bit off kilter. Things have started to get a little bit darker. The way that they're interacting with each other as students has started to get a little bit darker. I'm gripped. It's really good. The writing is really good. I was correct in like the little bit that I've listened to on audio. There is just something about Shakespeare that's brought to life so well on audio. Like, it just hits different when you listen to it versus reading it, especially if you have to have a strong actor that understands the words and is able to translate them well. But if you've got that, so good. Oh my God, guys, this is so gripping. It says that I'm currently 40% of the way through. I've just finished Act 2 and I'm starting Act 3 at 172 pages. I feel a bit lost for words for how to update you on this one. I feel like I'm now understanding why I have not ever seen any spoilers for this book. I feel like I don't want to say anything that might give, I just really don't, it really feels like an experience. It feels like it's a very unique reading experience. Me reading it feels I don't want to say anything that might spoil it. All I'll say is things are really picking up. It's so tension filled. The college almost has this like eerie cult-like vibe to it. I already said about how the literary techniques in here that are making you confused about, well, you're not actually confused, that's the thing, it's done so well. Oh, it feels really sophisticated because like I do know the difference between when they're acting and when they're not, because you're in the point of view of Oliver, who like clearly says, but you kind of don't know. It's like, you know that they're acting, but then in the back of your mind you're like, yeah, but are they? Though, is Oliver like a reliable narrator? The end of Act 2 has just left on like, so I thought that something had happened and I was really shocked, and now that thing hasn't necessarily happened, but I guess it could still happen, but I'm desperate to know which one of them did it, or if they all did it as a group and why they did it, because it's one of those like mystery thrillers where there's violence amongst the group, there's like different like sex and relationships among different members of the group that other people in the group really don't like, there's friendships that seem like slightly questionable, like the relationship between Oliver and his best friend James. Has anyone else read this? I guess maybe I'll find, like, I'm getting like a little bit of a gay vibe, like do they have feelings for each other? Or maybe I'm like on completely the wrong track there. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I have so many questions going on in my mind. Like so many questions. I also think this is a very good November book because it feels very dark and wintry and cold and absolutely no giggling and kicking my feet. Zero. It's good though. It's good though, right? I'm gonna go get back to it. Wish me luck. Good morning. Okay, we're officially 314 pages into If We Were Villains, and I don't really know. I still feel kind of the same. I have no idea what's going on, but I also feel like I know everything that's going on. So therefore, like, what is gonna happen in the final 30%? I almost feel like we're building to something big, but I also feel like everything's happened. Like, I know which one of the 7 of them died. I kind of know how it happened, but it feels like there's like something big, or it really keeps you on the edge, this book. This school just feels super like cult-like and toxic, but they all like love it, and the main character loves it, and like that's where he feels like at home. But in my mind I'm like, no, this place is no good. If you know your Shakespeare, I think your enjoyment of this book will be like so much more like through the roof. But on the flip side, if you don't know your Shakespeare, this will introduce you to Shakespeare in such a good way, because I think it really brings it to life. There are a few Shakespeare plays that they are performing in here that I don't know as well, or that they reference reference so much of his work. Like Henry VI, I never studied that. I've never read it. It's just not a Shakespeare play I'm familiar with. Whereas like there's some bits in here, like when they're studying Macbeth, obviously when they're referencing Romeo and Juliet, I'm like, I know these passages and I know the story, I know the context. So when they're kind of like listing who's playing who, I'm like, okay, cool. I can see how that mirrors. Like I know bits of Shakespeare decently well. There's some of it I don't know and I kind of like wish I did, and it's making me like hungry for studying it more. But I think if you don't know any Shakespeare at all and you're like not familiar with reading it in any capacity, I think this also introduces it to you really nicely, because like I said, I'm just repeating myself now, but it brings it to life in a really cool way, and you get to kind of learn what the different plays are about. I'm 70% of the way in. I think I should be able to get this finished and we should be able to start the next book today, because I've got quite a lot of solid reading time available. Let's keep reading. So heavy. Oh, Oliver. Buddy. Why? What? I'm gonna listen to the last 30 seconds again. Listen to it again. What the hell? Okay. Let's catch up in a minute. In a second. Oh, well. If I do not all of a sudden wish that I was far more pretentious than I am, and that I was educated enough in Shakespeare to be able to just quote lines and lines of it at the drop of a hat and integrate Shakespeare into my daily life when the mood strikes. And that is always the lure of dark academia, isn't it? You read it and then you're like, oh, I want to be really, really smart, and I want to have really smart friends, and I want gothic and dark things to happen around me because life is so intense that way. Okay, some thoughts. Let me okay, there we go. Right. I feel like I have so many thoughts. I wrote down some of the quotes that I loved the most. The main urge I have now is to reread this and like annotating properly. Like this is a book I really want to annotate. Some of my favorites were, or like I feel like that summarized the book so well. Do you blame Shakespeare for any of it? The question is so unlikely, so nonsensical coming from such a sensible man, that I can't suppress a smile. I blame him for all of it, I say. Another one. That is how a tragedy like ours or King Lear breaks your heart, by making you believe that the ending might still be happy until the very last minute. And then the other one, which is probably just summarizes everything, is you can justify anything if you do it poetically enough. There are so many more, like I can't even tell you. I've like tried to skim through to try and find some of my favorites. There's about 1 billion in here that I want to annotate. I think I might give it 5 stars. Like, I think this is one of my favorite books. Guys, it's melted my brain. Can anyone else tell it's melted my brain? I feel completely incoherent now. I feel so poorly educated compared to these people. The ending, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not gonna do anything. All I know is that I saw on somebody else's Goodreads review that I looked at after I finished, said like, if you're also feeling some type of way, then make sure you read this fanfic, and they've linked to fanfiction, and I'm genuinely gonna go and read that on the sofa now and just like read the fanfic, which apparently just gives you like more. It's not like an alternative ending or anything, it's just more, which, I feel like I need more, which is like the last sentence. What? Anyway, I don't think I have loads more to say. I feel like I could keep going on and on and on. The only thing I'll say, which I don't feel like I need to justify liking it as much as I did, but the only thing I do want to acknowledge is I haven't read The Secret History by Donna Tartt, which I don't know if The Secret History is like considered a modern classic. The Secret History is, it's something, and it definitely came first, and it's a group of students that I believe are studying Greek mythology, and there's also a death amongst the group, and there's a narrator that kind of narrates what happened during that time. It sounds like it's very, very similar. I only know what I know about The Secret History from my mum, because she's obviously read that, but she hasn't read this. It sounds very similar, and then when I was looking at the Goodreads reviews, lots of people that really disliked this and were giving it like 1 star were basically saying this is like the unsophisticated version of The Secret History. I don't know how valid that is or not. I'm gonna go and say, not my opinion, but I haven't read The Secret History, but I have read this and it didn't feel unsophisticated at all. I loved it. And I love Oliver, and I just want to wrap, to be honest, all of them in a hug, but especially Oliver and James. Like, I just want to give them a really big hug. And I did love Philippa as well. 5-star effect, right? You could just never stop talking about it, but I do feel like every character was both somehow extremely dense and incredibly shallow, and I don't understand how those two parallels were like traversed, or like were like how two truths held so true. Gosh, that's bad. How both things could occur so completely at once. Like, all the characters were really shallow and felt really one-dimensional in some aspects, because you didn't really know how much of their characters was them as a person versus the characters they were playing. And they were playing lots of different characters because they performed in different plays throughout the book, different Shakespeare works. But then equally, there was like so much nuance and depth to each of the characters that you'd get one little sentence which would describe one little thing, and you'd be like, oh, is that? Like, do they actually feel like this, or is that actually how they, and then you'd question, like, is there a whole broader depth to them, and actually they're all incredibly nuanced. Somehow both were true. I found the whole thing kind of a mindfuck, but in actually a really good way, not in a what on earth was that way. So highly recommend, and I'm so glad I read it in October. When I first finished it, I felt very unhappy. My chest honestly still feels a bit tight now that I'm kind of like remembering it and thinking about it. Oh, you guys made me feel better for a second, and it's back. I need to read something fun. Oh, I should say thank you guys so much for voting for this. Obviously, so many of you, I'm guessing, either have read it or just wanted to hear my thoughts on it before you read it. But if you are one of the people that voted for this book for whatever reason, thank you for voting for it. I'm so glad I read it. Excellent choice. Now the jar has to choose. I am going to, I think, slim down the jar's TBR to choose from for our final book. Let me make a bit of a pile. I can see one book over there. I definitely want to have Phantasma in the pile. Let me just grab some books off the shelf to make the pile, get the jar, and then we'll choose our next book. Okay, kind of a super random selection, but I've just gone for a bit of a mix. Daisy Hates. I don't know why this screams kind of this time of year. I think it's because I read Magnolia Parks basically this time last year. Direbound, loved Mate, could maybe do with a bit more werewolves in my lives. I don't know if they are werewolves exactly, but they're wolves in some shape or form. Phantasma, extremely October Halloween coded, and it's Halloween in literally like a couple of days, so that's definitely in the list. Assistant to the Villain, because we're desperate to read it and get this book off the flipping shelf. Prison Healer, some high fantasy would be fun. And then I've also put on Daydream here by Hannah Grace, because if anything is going to like perk up my mood after that, it's going to be like a Hannah Grace fluffy good time. And like the fact that they're like in a library and it looks kind of bookish, I don't know, it just feels kind of autumnal. This is the pile. I'm very happy with this pile. Whatever was selected from here will feel very different to If We Were Villains, and also very different to Taurus Season, because we've basically done dark romance, dark academia. I'm just ready for like nothing dark. I don't know if Phantasma's dark romance, but to me it's more just like fantasy. But yeah, I'm done with the dark thing, okay? I need something a little bit perkier. So what do I need now? I need the jar. Oh, where is it? Oh, so high. Okay, we've got the jar. Right. Okay, this feels very foldy. Oh, I can see one there that's also very foldy, which makes me think maybe we haven't used it before. A book with an animal on the front cover. That's what we've just done, If We Were Villains, which has the little sparrow on the front cover. Okay, let's see if any of these have a book with an animal on the front cover. Okay. Daydream does not. Prison Healer does not. Oh, Assistant to the Villain does. It has a little crow. I don't know how much that counts. Phantasma does not. Direbound does. It has the wolf, although does that count more as a sword? Ooh, and then Daisy Hates does. It's got tigers. Oh wow, we love the jar. Oh no, oh no, he's gonna be so, I can't believe it. No, this feels too a book that Cameron chooses for you. He has been wanting this prompt. No, I almost now feel like I want to put it back. Like it's become too much of a thing that he like is so desperate to choose a book, and now it's come up. Shall I just see if he's, I can't ignore the jar. Shall I just go see if he's free and see if he's gonna choose a book? I mean, I guess. Okay, right. BRB, I'm gonna go see if Cameron can come pick one of, I don't know what, I'm gonna go get Cameron. Be right back. Actually, let's go get them together. I was pulling a prompt out of the TBR jar.
Is it Cameron?
It's Cameron.
Finally! I've been waiting for this day.
I know. Will you come upstairs and choose a book? Okay, this is your selection of books.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you what they are about, or do you want to just blind pick? You are in charge.
No, I want you to show me each one, give me a little elevator pitch and then hands.
So you know the book that I just finished was kind of like dark and made me sad, or was quite traumatic.
Contrast could be fun.
Could be fun, but you know, it's totally up to you. So we have Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is like a sports romance. It doesn't look very sporty, but
kind of like hockey players.
Exactly, the ice hockey players, probably quite smutty, but like very fun. Prison Healer is about I think it's like a deadly games that happens. Somebody has to compete in these challenges in order to like save the people, and this woman works in a prison and she volunteers to take the place of somebody competing in the games.
Got you.
Fantasy,
Got
not
you.
romance.
Got you.
Okay. This one is a dark romance between a witch and I think a phantom, like a ghost. And she has to compete, again, more deadly games, but there's like deadly games with romance.
Got you.
Okay. Assistant to the Villain. This is like a cozy fantasy, so it's not high stakes fantasy like there's like death involved. This is like a girl goes to work for like the village villain, like literally like a fairy tale baddie.
Fun.
And then I think they fall in love.
Fun.
Okay. Then we have Daisy Hates. This is about extremely rich. Think Gossip Girl meets Made in Chelsea.
Okay. Wow.
Basically, like based in London, and it's a story between two people. There's like mob, like the London mob is the male main character, I believe.
Got you.
And then this one is about wolves, and it's also a romance, I think, but it's fantasy. It's
next question. I got it.
Okay.
Next question.
He's bored of synopsis.
Which of these has been on the shelf the longest?
Well, that would be a different prompt from the jar, but I suppose that doesn't matter. Probably Assistant to the Villain or Daisy Hates.
So, I think it's one of these two.
George, would you like to sit here? People can actually see you.
Yeah, fine. It's one of these two, I think.
Why do you think it's one of those two?
Because I think contrasting to the book you just read, No More Tears would be fun. These are too fun. I think this one is like a happy middle. So it's not quite pure fantasy, not quite like villains, but it's got a fun villain.
Yeah.
And then this one is completely other side of the spectrum. So I'm thinking either we go like halfway house or we just go for it. Let's go this Assistant to the Villain.
That's a very good choice. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you. You can go now.
I'm going to put my name back in so I can go again.
Yeah, you can go again on a time when you just choose a book completely. This was like a bit of a rigged version because you had to choose from a list I'd pre-selected. Well, there we go. Didn't he do well? And to be fair to he doesn't even know how much I've been just like crashing out about this book still being on the shelf. So I think this is a good choice. So let's do this. I do think this will be a good palette cleanser. It's like I remember from the first like 30 pages. I'm just going to start it from the beginning again. But I remember from the first 30 pages or so that I read of it. How many did I read? 38 pages last time. That it was very like kind of funny, sarcastic, non-serious, but like just like a good funny time. So that sounds excellent. This is it. Next book. Assistant to the Villain. Okay, I am genuinely kicking myself. I'm genuinely annoyed at myself for this. But I can't do Assistant to the Villain. I just can't do it. There is something in me that just won't let me full DNF it, which is what I think needs to happen. Like, I think I just need to just go, you know what, I'm just not gonna read this book. Every time I read some, I actively laugh. Like, I genuinely think it's funny and I'm having a good time and I'm loving the dry sense of humor. I think the stakes just feel really low and there's something about it that just doesn't grip me. This is my true dilemma, okay? To me, this is the perfect audiobook. Something that you can put on in the background whilst you like do other things, and it's like having like a funny comedy TV show that you love to just put on in the background while you do other stuff. The audiobook of this, I'm so sorry to say it, but I can't, the voice actress, the way she performs it is so grating to me, and like it's like a bit of a lilt, like the inflection at the end of every sentence as kind of like peaks up, and it's so grating. Like, I've tried to do the audiobook so many times and just push through and I can't do it. That's a long way to say I can't do it, I'm really sorry. So instead, we're gonna go back to the animal prompt, like an animal on the cover, and we're doing Direbound. So Laura Reads actually recommended this book to me months ago, and then life just got in the way and I didn't end up getting to do the video that I was hoping to do when she gave me the recommendation of this book. Her videos are so cozy if you don't already watch them, but I think this is one of her like favorites, and I have to say so far I'm really enjoying it. Audiobook is fantastic. It's done duet, but I think it's single point of view duet, which I quite, at the moment, I'm really vibing with single point of view, but where you do get insight into the male main character's perspective. This so far is not a romance. I'm sure that's where it's going. My thoughts so far, I think I'm about 150 pages in. Yes, this is a very classic romantasy. It's got trials, it's got a kind of badass FMC, she's like from a poor area and she's doing trials from a rich area. Like, it's got some of those classic things in, which maybe is starting to feel a little bit tired, but I have to be honest, I'm really enjoying it. I think the writing is good. I mean, that sounds like a given, but we know that it's not these days. And the way this is written, like this, like some of the dry sense of humor is great. It's not overdone where like it's just really sarcastic all the time. That can start to feel a little bit grating. There's just like little snippets of humor in there. I'm really enjoying like the depth of the side characters that we're getting so early on in the book. The guy that we just know is going to be the MMC so far is like really far removed from the story, and I'm really enjoying that because it means we've got a nice slow burn on our hands. Who doesn't love wolves? But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I'm only 150 pages in. It's decently chunky. This has now been traditionally published. I believe this is the indie version because I bought it months ago when Laura first recommended it to me. I'll keep you updated on how I find it. I'm now heading off with Cameron for the weekend for like a cozy weekend in the countryside. So I'm gonna go read this by a cozy fire in the middle of the countryside. The wolf that I'm picturing when I'm reading about these wolves is like exactly the same as the wolves from Twilight. I don't know why that's what's being conjured in my mind. Fluffy but massive wolves from Twilight. Like, that's exactly what I'm picturing right now. Anyway, I'm gonna go keep enjoying this. I'll give you an update once I've got one. I'm feeling so good about having switched books, so please forgive me for not reading Assistant to the Villain. I do think I will one day read it, but today is not that day. Once again, today is not that day. For those of you that know the layout of my house, yes, I am sat on my coffee table right now, but it's like 3 o'clock and I swear it's getting dark. Insanity, or maybe there's just about to be a rainstorm or something, but I need my face like in the window so you can see me. I didn't film anything. Well, I filmed lots over the weekend, but I did not film me reading one drop, and I have now nearly read 300 pages of this book. The fact that I'm nearly 300 pages in and I'm only this far through feels criminal. This book is so long, but it's really good. I have to say, I'm really vibing with this. I don't like to talk too much about very popular books that I didn't enjoy because I just think it's invitation for a lot of hate, which I don't need, nobody needs. But take everything that was wrong with Fourth Wing and make it better. Like, this is giving strong Fourth Wing vibes at the start, or just where I'm up to right now. We've kind of got trials, but we're at an academy and we're training, and it literally, instead of dragons, you bond with a wolf. Like, the way that you talk to your dragon in Fourth Wing is kind of the same way that you talk to your wolf in Direbound. All of that is very similar, but I love the writing. The romance is so much better to me than Fourth Wing. Like, okay, I'm not gonna talk about Fourth Wing anymore. I love the romance. I don't wanna say anything to spoil this, so yeah, I'm just gonna say I love the romance in all its forms. I'm trying to work out how to say things. I don't know what to say without it being a spoiler, because I wanna say it's slow burn, but like, it's not slow burn. Is that a spoiler? I don't think so. The story follows Merrin. Her sister gets taken. She wants to know where her sister's gone. She's desperate to get her sister back. So she joins this academy, bonds to a wolf, and then is basically on a mission to get her sister back. I love the whole pack thing and like the alphas and betas and like pack dynamics and how they all have to like work together to form like their pack bonds. Guys, it's really good. I guess it feels like a bit of a shock to me that it's so good so far, because it really does have every single like pretty like basic bitch, if that's what we want to call it, romantasy trope. Hopefully this isn't a disservice to Sable Sorensen, the author, but it does feel incredibly ACOTAR, incredibly Fourth Wing, but done really well. And it does feel fresh. It's like same, but different. It doesn't feel like a copy. It doesn't feel, I haven't rolled my eyes once. I haven't like, I'm just vibing. I also will say, as with everything at the moment, it seems, I'm also combo audiobooking this and reading it. Is a floppy book. Look at this. What a delightful reading experience. So I have been trying to pick this up as much as I possibly can instead of audio, because, oh, it's just so fun to have a floppy book. Anyway, I feel like those are all of my thoughts so far. So far, both books in this reading vlog and now this one. So all 3 books have been so addictive, like really bingeable. Like, I've gone, I just want want to sit and read this today. I just want to get through the whole thing. What a strong reading vlog. Takes it out of you, I'm telling you. And it does mean this reading vlog is taking way longer than I meant for it to. I'm sorry about that. Not that you'll know, but because we were away for the weekend, I just haven't got it read. So this is going to go up late. I'm sorry, but I've got some excellent books to recommend and hopefully that will make up for it. Right, I'm going to go keep reading. Let's see how much we can do today. It'd be fun to do like another 100 pages or something today. I'm just in the flow of the yap now, so I'm going to go. Let's go. Let's keep reading. I'm now on chapter 3. All I have to say is I'm guessing lots of things, and I'm guessing that all the things I'm guessing is probably going to be right, because I do feel like we're following a bit of a formula. However, I'm like so not bored. Even though I'm like, oh yeah, that's like a goodie, that's a baddie, that person's gonna betray you there, and this person's like gonna be a bestie. Like, even though I kind of just know, I'm still kind of vibing. There's also like 2 men in this book that are like very prominent male characters. They both have nicknames for her. One nickname I hate and one nickname I love. Not gonna say any more on that either because I think it might spoil something, but yeah, I have lots of guesses basically. I'm getting to a point where I'm like, okay, I feel like I know the deal. I think I understand everything. Sometimes though, there are just things that work, and like right now, we have a royal ball to prepare for. Come and see the dress we brought for you. You know, she's getting dressed up for a royal ball and she's inevitably gonna get decked to the nines, and she's gonna come out looking all sexy and shimmery and sparkly and wonderful, and men are all gonna turn their heads, and she's gonna have some intimate moment with like a love interest that's gonna be all like, oh my god, you look so good, but like it'll be soft, like little hand brushes, and you know, like I know how the royal ball thing goes. But I also think this is also the curse of reading too many books. Like, if you've never read a royal ball before, then all of those things are so much fun. I just think I've read a few of them, so therefore I kind of know the formula that's going down of the royal ball, just like reading ahead. Oh yes, the cut of the bodice is low and revealing, like of course. And it's like skimpier than what she's used to, of course. Anyway, like I said, somehow it's like just not putting me off. I'm gonna go keep reading. We're doing very well so far. I'm reading at a decent pace for me. We're now on page, like I said, chapter 33, page 333, which means that I've read a good like 70, 80 pages since we last spoke, which quite a lot, I have to say. Catch up with you soon. Hopefully we get some plot twists. We are all done with Direbound. Oh, I actually weirdly feel as though the very end, like the last, I don't know, maybe 20 pages or so, kind of dock it down a little bit for me. Overall, I think this is such a strong fantasy, romantasy book. I think for a romantasy, there was actually a lot else going on that wasn't about the romance, which I really enjoyed. I do feel like it was quite plot heavy. I think there was a lot about the academy and the trials they were having to go through and the bond with their wolves, which I really enjoyed all of that. Again, I want to be really careful. I feel like I've said that 1,000 times in this video. I want to be really careful not to spoil it. But the romance component of this story, I actually didn't really enjoy the way that happened at the end of this. I felt like we went from 0 to 100 really fast. And I feel, for anyone that's read it, I feel like the wolf component kind of dented the romance for me a little bit, which I found quite disappointing. It was kind of something like bubbling away, and like we know how much we love a slow burn and like all of those things. And then, I don't know, I think I'm still really excited for book 2. Like, give it to me now, give it to me now. Can't wait for book 2. And I think I've looked it up now and it's coming, oh, I can't remember, but it's not that long. It's like April, March, May, like that kind of spring time. So I'm so happy about that. Yeah, I hope book 2, we kind of get either maybe like a little bit of a redo or like a reset, or we just get more that kind of makes up for, maybe we should have just left that for book 2 because it feels like it was crammed in to book 1 when actually that could have just been left to play. That is actually what I think. That's what I think. I think this should have just been left as basically not really romantasy, and we should have just done the wolves, done the plot of her trying to find her sister, which is the whole thing, like focused on this like brewing evil thing with these they're not called vampires, I think they're called siphons. I remember what they're called. They're called siphons, but they're basically vampires, like these siphons and this evil brewing, and like what are they going to do about it and all that stuff. It should have just almost remained that, and then romantasy should have come like later in book 2, kind of in like, actually I can't remember when it happens, in Spark of the Everflame. I kind of feel like the romance doesn't really happen in book 1, but maybe I'm wrong now. I don't know. I feel like we could have just left it. Let's do it properly in book 2. And I hope that we do it properly in book 2 because I love our male main character. I really enjoy Marion as a female main character. She does do some things that are a little bit annoying, but I really like her. I love her wolf. Yeah, really solid. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it. Maybe like 4.25 or 4.5. This has been such a strong reading vlog, guys. We've had 3 books all over 4-star. All that, to be honest, I've just thoroughly enjoyed, and we've had 1 5-star read. I think we should just wrap it up there. I think that concludes this reading vlog. I feel like this is going to be such a long one because I've really read with you every single one of these books. So if you're still with me and you haven't left yet, thank you so much for sticking around. Maybe pop like, you know, the little mug, like the little steaming mug emoji, maybe pop that in the description box so I can say hi if you've made it this far. I've also heard your requests for a winter festive book recs video, so that is coming in hot. I'm gonna sit down and give you all of the books that you need to be reading this winter, plus the festive reads that you want to be reading at Christmas, plus my Christmas and festive TBR that I'm going to read, some of which will be rereads like over actual Christmas time. That is coming to you very soon. Reading vlog, I'm going to start it right now. That'll be on its way. Also, yesterday I hit 10,000 subscribers. I can't believe it, guys. I hit 10,000. There's 10,000 of us. Like, hi. It's so cool. I have nothing to say and so much to say. It's so cool. Anyway, you know what that means. Things are in the works. We're planning. Thank you so much for 10K. It's the coolest, loveliest community of people ever. There's just nothing quite like a group of book girlies. Like, I do believe the book girlies are the best. I do believe that. I'm biased, but I believe that. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna go start the next reading vlog because I'm in the mood to cozy up with a book. Can confidently recommend every single one of the books that I've read in this video, so add them all to your TBR. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you are in the middle of such a lovely book, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.